5 students looking each at his or her own computer screens is not the same as 5 people looking at one big screen. And it seems like it would be a one-to-one correlation or very highly similar. It's not. Because now with their focus just on one, now each person, especially if you use the mouse and somebody highlights, look, see what the court said here, we hold. Well, it draws everybody's attention to that, and there's something about one reference point, one place where you're looking at it, that I've really seen a difference. It allows for kind of a more thorough, deeper kind of discussion. In contrast, when each has, each person has a screen, well, maybe they're looking at the same sentence, maybe they're not, but there's that chance for people being at different places. That really is eliminated when you've got the one screen. Students can now, for example, one student can bring in a sample argument and can post it on that screen. And then all of the students can now look at it and say, does that argument accomplish what it needs to? So as a group, they can go through sentence by sentence. They're all looking at it and they're all becoming the architect, if you will, or architects of a good argument. And I think one of the benefits is now people can learn from someone else. So I may, as the student, say, well, I think the argument I wrote really started off well. Someone else can say, well, I thought it was a good opening sentence, but not the best, and offer something else and immediately change it, or simply highlight it and then tuck in a sentence right after. And then each person can say, well, is it the first sentence or the second that works more effectively? But so you can work with the document right there. You can leave what you want there, and you can simply stick in a parenthetical form a new sentence, and then the debate ensues. Which is the better? Which is clearer? Which is more true to whatever the rule is that you're analyzing? So it just invites a lot of discussion, and I think a little more importantly, people can, again, learn from each other about, well, how do you write effectively? Some people are a little more outgoing and they may begin the discussion and they may take their mouse and point to a particular phrase or sentence and begin talking about that and what is the court talking about. And so some of the more outgoing people may do that initially. But what I find in small groups, in contrast to a large group, is even the more quiet students will perk up and say, oh, yes, I agree, but then a little later the court says something slightly different. How does that impact our analysis, or what are we supposed to get out of this case? So I find that you don't have just one or two normally controlling the discussion. You have a genuine interaction. Oh yes, I definitely see a difference in this. The courses I teach, legal research and writing, legal analysis and writing, I think are more productive when the students are doing more of the work. If I'm simply in front of the room and calling on them and asking them what they've gotten out of a case, that nets a certain amount of information and it's valuable. But as students begin to understand what they need to do, the more that they do and work with each other and then report back to me, and we talk about it as a large group, I think that is more effective because they're doing the work. I was very pleased, and I think that the way you set up the class can encourage this. They were very collaborative. They worked together. I think the system is so intuitive and so basic, so easy to use, that that's kind of the automatic reaction that you're going to get. And I'm looking forward to testing that. Oh, they definitely like it. Do they want to use this equipment or do this? Yes, I don't think, if a class runs 2 or 3 hours, I don't think they want to do that exclusively. But I think any part of a class, whether it's an hour-and-a-half class to 3 hour, a portion of that class, when devoted to their ability to work with some of the material in this small group, yes, students have been very pleased. Would I recommend this to other faculty? Absolutely, and I have recommended it. First, I recommended it to some other faculty that teach the same course that I do, and I know that they are going to start using it. Okay. Would I recommend it to faculty who teach what in the law school we call doctrinal classes? Yes. We actually had a meeting with a number of faculty about a month ago, and we highlighted those features of the program that we thought would work regardless of the nature of the class. I think there's some changes that would have to be made, depending on what your goals are or the number of students in the class, but I think it's adaptable to a variety of kind of classroom situations and classroom topics. I look carefully at things that I want to use in the classroom, and I think there are a variety of things out there. And to me, this is not simply a piece of equipment that just lets me do one more thing in a classroom. It is simply the means by which students can do the task and learn the skills that are really critical to their being good law students, effective law students, and effective lawyers. I don't use every piece of equipment that potentially could be used. This one I have and I will continue to use in the classroom.